So hopefully he's turned up for the game, but this is going to be absolutely spectacular. Both teams looking to kick off the season here.
Well, it's interesting, and it's been touched on already, that maybe a difference in style here today. Hull FC haven't been prolific point scorers in recent history. Hull Kingston Rovers seem to have more about them in that facet of the game.
Well, there's more craft in the Hull KR side. In boxing, they say that styles make fights. Well, these two teams have contrasting styles, a lot of craft, a lot of ingenuity in the Robins side, and a lot of power and size. And the Black and Whites will try and bludgeon the way to the try line, and Hull KR will try and outfox and outsmart their opposition. Bill, and we saw some shots of the changing room before, and the players weren't speaking to each other. You don't need motivation in these games. You are well and truly up for it. From the final whistle last week to now, this is the time to play.
But it's Rovers and Mantellato who get this game underway. Phil Bentham, our referee. Conditions nigh on perfect. We haven't even got howling winds you normally have on this ground most games of the year. And Hull, with their group of supporters some way behind them on the terracing at that end of the ground. First touch of the ball for them, and these are the nervy moments of the game when the players are looking to settle down. Here's Jamie Shaw, very much on home turf. Jamie Shaw, James Webster, the coach in charge of Rovers at the moment following the departure of Chris Chester. Brief period of Willie Poaching in charge, but Webster has the job for the rest of the season. Sneed puts the kick in, and Rovers get their first touch of the ball.
Knock on. There we go, is it play on?
Well,
yes.
Play on. The ball picked up, and Tumavave has seized that opportunity. And Phil Bentham will surely go to the video ref. That ball returned from the kick. It came loose. Tumavave picked it up.
Check how the ball came out, please.
And he didn't hang around. And Phil Bentham reckons we've got to try, but he wants to know exactly what happened there.
Well, Josh Mantellato, he returns that ball, meets three players. Is there a hand in? Well, certainly, Carlos Tumavave, he has a stab at that. Yeah, you can see that when he goes in, Mantellato's going down. It's the right arm of Tumavave, I feel, that pulls that ball away. So Josh Mantellato might be very lucky to get away with this. Is there a grab? I think there's an intentional grab. He looks around, he's looking for the ref's whistle from Phil Bentham. Are they saying it's a loose carry? Mantellato certainly leads with that arm that he's carrying the ball in. Well, if you're a Hull KR fan, you're saying that that's a strip. If you're a Hull FC fan, you're saying that that's a try.
They're looking in the grounding. James Child is the video ref. First decision within minutes of the kickoff, and it's no try. What a let-off for Josh Mantellato, denying Carlos Tumavave the try.
It's when he goes into collision, you can see Tumavave's right arm, he lifts his arm up and dislodges the ball. So whether he was carrying that ball loosely into it, it's the action of Tumavave to lift his arm away, and that's the only reason why Mantellato gets away with it.
Phew! You could hear the sigh of relief from the Robins supporters. Could have been a horrendous start to the game for them, as it is. It's the penalty which Maurice Blair, Bobby, to his teammates. Scott Taylor! Well, he did miss.
Well, a good job as well. He was hunting the big ex-Hull KR. Drop forward, him and Liam Watts both played for Hull KR, so they know what it means to him. Look at him shooting out the line, looking to intimidate his opposite.
Kelly. Whoa, Horn put the brakes on. Could have been an obstruction call there. And Kelly back in the side after a 3-game absence. Plays the ball. Walker now. And in all likelihood, Hull denied a try a moment ago by having to backpedal and resist Mantellato. Here's Chris Clarkson now. Frank Pritchard gets hold of an ankle. Sniping run. And denied. And that'll be the turnover.
Bill James Webster, the Hull KR coach, knows that for his side to beat Hull FC, they need to play rugby, they need to shift the ball. There's no point getting in a drive or into a contest just driving up the middle. They need to spin the ball out because Hull FC are very strong. We'll see here Danny Houghton
he brings his forwards onto the ball. It's been a very big side ball.
Well, what they also need to do, Hull KR, is restrict the metres that the black and whites make and keep them as far down this end of the pitch as possible, as often as they can.
Pritchard, quick hands from Pritchard, finds Tumavave, who's playing at standoff, but he's been in the centres up until the last couple of games. Both these sides missing integral players.
Well, Hull FC now on the 5th tackle. I'm sure it's going to be kicked long into the corner here.
Sneyd drills the ball downfield, and Ben Cockayne preferred it. Full-back, Kieran Dixon missing out again. But he had a great game last time out. Lee Radford's looking on, his side going into this game with a good win under their belts against Wakefield after a little blip.
Well, Ben Cockayne does everything right on that kick return. He comes into the centre of the field. They go to the right-hand side. Waverley was setting up for the long shift as Mark Sneyd gives a penalty away. Just the urgency from CO to get up, play the ball.
It's another penalty to Hull Kingston Rovers. Their second of the game. Again, Maurice Blair drills it downfield. Kelly, leisurely approach to that ball. Adam Walker now. And Walker upended. And that was a touch and go from Ellis and Houghton, yeah. And Ellis,
great shot from Ellis. 34 years of age, Gareth Ellis, still throwing his body around. Terrific competitor.
Talk about standing your ground, he certainly did there. Here's Ken Sio. Operating in the centres, Sio. Walker again. Middle of the field. About 15 metres out, Hull Kingston Rovers now. Young George Lawler in there, his derby debut for the 20-year-old hooker. Horn brought down, quick play the ball. Ken Sio now. Kelly will kick crossfield. Mantolato will climb. The ball is batted back, and great work to get out of trouble. Mahe Fanua doing excellently there.
He is a big man, and he's got number 2 on his back. He's playing in the centre in this match, just recently returned from injury. He's in the right spot, he ends up with the ball. Watch the power, just shrugs off Thornley.
It's Mahe Fanua, who's been out for 5 games with a knee problem, which he picked up in the first round, in fact. So they're very glad to have him back. Has some presence. There is a lot of physical presence in this Hull FC side. Not short of that.
Both sides, Bill. You won't find any player on either side holding back in this game.
Mantolato looks into the sun to claim that Sneyd kick.
Now what's his grip like? There's an interesting tackle technique. As we recall, Mantolato, the former Wyong Kangaroo, he lost control of the ball on his previous return. Watch this. You won't see that in any coaching manual.
Hull Kingston Rovers seeing plenty of the ball at the moment after that nervy start when they could have conceded a try. Mantolato losing possession, Tumavave capitalising, but now they are in possession. As with Ryan Shaw cutting infield.
Well, they certainly are backing themselves. Hull KR have had all the field position in the opening 6.5 minutes.
Kelly now. Maurice Blair. Blair misses out one. Goes wide to Mantolato. Mantolato back on the inside. Oh, great defence. Great defence. It's that Frank Pritchard presence doing the job there on Ben Cockayne. Blair stabs a little kick in, the ball ricochets. Good, cool play from Liam Watts.
Do you know what, if Frank Pritchard wasn't there, that was certain to be a try. The big man come from one side to the other, just shut that down. They're certainly shifting the ball goes back inside. Oof, that was a big hit, wasn't it?
Well, wow, how impressed am I and are you with the intensity of this game? We've had 7.5 minutes and nobody's took a breath yet.
It's a derby match living up to expectations between these two great rivals. Their seasons so far have not been that remarkable. Rovers 10th, Hull FC 6th in the table, but that counts for very little coming into this game. The 227th derby match as Tumavave drills a kick downfield. And Rovers again have an opportunity to build. They're getting plenty of possession.
Well, it just seems end-to-end. Look, again, shifting the ball, looking to play, not willing to take Hull FC on. And that's where the threat will be. The forwards just, you know you're going to take a whack now and again, but just set up for your outside backs.
Graham Horne, over 100 games for Rovers and for Hull, for the Hull Kingston Rovers centre. Here's big Dane Tills.
There's that short pass, it's really noticeable. Hull KR, when they're going into contact, they're going to the line, they're making at least one pass, trying to get outside those big six.
Thornley now. And they're looking to get Mantellato going. Here is Mantellato. Blair kicking across the field. Ken Sio will try and challenge for it. The ball ricochets and it comes up for FC. There's a knock on there though, says Phil Bentham.
Well, the ball in here, and James Webster will be really proud of the way that his side are playing. Everyone was expecting Hull FC just to keep rolling forward and keep sapping the energy from Hull KR, but the ball goes up. Albert Kelly does enough just to get in the eye line of Kirk Yeaman, and Ken Sio, the man who's judged to have knocked that ball forward.
Well, we haven't mentioned Albert Kelly too much so far. He hasn't had his hands on the ball too many times. He will bring some try scoring. Obviously, he scores them, he sets them up, he finishes them. But what he also brings is belief. The players alongside him, they'll start to believe that they've got a chance in this game because the number 7 spark player that he is, he's getting involved, and he'll have a growing involvement in this game as it goes on.
Frank Pritchard plays the ball and Danny Houghton serves it up. There he is. Remarkable record he's got. This is his 50th consecutive appearance. He hasn't missed a game since June 2014, but here comes Hull FC in the shape of Curtis Norton, who plays the ball. Now they cross the halfway line. Kirk Yeaman wearing 24, so long. 4 was the number. Now he's number 24 as Sneed hoists that kick, and Kikane eyes on the ball and claims it despite the pressure from Carlos Tuimavave.
Well, let me tell you, there is some skill involved in, first of all, the kick, and the way it changes direction, and then second of all, to catch it, change and protect himself. Ben Kikane, he's been doing it for well over a decade, Ben Kikane, and he's perfected that art and skill.
Now Hull looking to put some pressure on their opponents and prevent them making the sort of progress they've been making without causing any damage so far.
Bill, they've been spotting up Frank Pritchard. He's been struggling to get back. The first couple of players, they're going straight up the middle of the guts at him. Bit disorganised here though.
Well, Kelly making something out of nothing there, and then the ball bouncing backwards. Referee says play on as it's picked up by Minichiello.
That's gifting the opposition meters. You get through your set of 6, you get to the last tackle, and as the forward, if you're wearing a Hull KR shirt, you want your halfback to kick the ball long. Here, unfortunately, gets caught up. That's credit to Hull FC's defence.
2, moved in, hold.
Problems for Hull Kingston Rovers. Graham Horne having treatment on the run, could be a shoulder problem, but meanwhile Hull FC in possession. First real opportunity since that Tuimavave no try for them to put a bit of pressure on the Rovers defence.
And that's the beauty of making Frank Pritchard do a little bit of defence. He took that ball in, no power, no punch. He's sucking in the big ones at the minute, Frank.
Oh, there's an FC player struggling. It's Carlos Tuimavave. Sneed though, meanwhile, short ball, gets the pass back. It was good hands from Kirk Yeaman that almost opened it up for Sneed, but it was on the last, and it'll be the turnover.
Yeah, he's struggling. Tuimavave, he got hit. I think he was passing the ball on the right side there, and he took a big whack as he goes at the line.
It doesn't look too strong, but the fact that he's in the motion of passing that ball, his body will be relaxed, he won't be expecting it, and they're the ones that knock the wind out of you, the ones that you don't see and you don't expect. He's just taking a minute now to Tuimavave. He's had a lot of involvements for the black and white so far. Very impressive player. Good balance, good speed, good decision making. Lee Radford, I think both coaches will be pleased with the arm wrestle. 0-0 on the scoreboard. Territorially, the Robins have had the lion share of that, but it's been a good tussle. Both game plans, Hull KR keep the black and whites over the other end of the pitch. And Hull FC get down here and cause some questions, cause some problems and ask some questions.
Tumavave still needing some treatments after that tackle from Mitch Allgood.
You sometimes wonder in these situations whether there's a conversation being had with the doctor and the player about does he need to come off or...
Well, he does.
Yeah. And sometimes it's about convincing the player, and the doctor will dig his heels in and say, no, we're not restarting, you're coming off, we're assessing you. Good call from the doctor, good call from the medical staff.
So he'll go off for the concussion assessment.
And just on that hit as well, the referee and the touch judges, they were okay with that.
Danny Washbrook will come on, just taking his place as play resumes. It was the turnover. And that's the first real break, first real pause in the game after 12 minutes. It's been such a frantic start. Yet to get any points on the board, though.
Do you know what?
That denied try, ironically, from Tumavave.
Bill, what happens when one of your teammates leaves the pitch is because he's been whacked, because he's been in a collision. It sometimes inspires you, whether you're carrying the ball or whether you're defending. And Hull FC know that they've really got a game on here.
Blair, good quick hands, and Mantelata coming back infield. Ben Cockayne cut down. Dane Tills, like a runaway giraffe, 6'6", playing the ball. Kelly, Cockayne popping up again. Ryan Shaw for the line. Phil Bentham has not awarded the try.
He's got a try. Check touch, please.
He wants to see if Ryan Shaw made contact with the whitewash. I don't think he did.
No, I don't think he did either. Oh, he backs himself here, Ryan Shaw. Look at that. He's got no space whatsoever. He steps off his right foot because he knows if he doesn't step off his right foot and carries on in the line that he's going, he'll get bundled into touch. Great finish.
Fourth try of the season for Ryan Shaw. First points of the game here at the KT Lightstream Stadium, and they go to the home side. And James Webster be delighted with that. They've been probing down Josh Mantelato's wing. First time really they come over Ryan Shaw's side of the field. Bingo! Points on the board.
Well, what a fantastic game this is, and it deserved an outstanding try. Beautiful movement and an outstanding finish from the young man from Barrow. Started his career at Warrington, went to Bradford last year. He's got some utility value. He can play at full-back, play at centre. He's showing what he can do on the wing. He's a big man playing on the wing in the Pat Richards mould or the Josh Mantelato. What a lovely balance here, lovely right foot step. First try to Hull KR.
Tell you what, Bill, what a lovely ball from Ben Cockayne.
He's on fire at the moment. He had a great game against Salford last week.
Incredible. His kick returns, he made his name as a fullback, as a winger, sorry, and then he slotted in at fullback. And that was a good ball, well-weighted pass to find Ryan Shaw on the wing, who goes in. And as I said, just watch when we see the replay where he steps off his right foot to buy himself that bit of time and give himself that momentum, waiting and expecting Jamie Shaw to try and get him into touch.
Second successive try for Ryan Shaw. Got a try against Salford in last weekend's win. Josh Mantelato back in the side after 5 games out, and what a return he made. Kicked for 8 from 10 in that win over Salford. What a player to have in your side. And his first opportunity to increase his goal kicking tally for the season, and not on target with that one. Rovers ahead by 4 points to 0.
And we should give some praise to the middlemen for Hull KR as well, because they've been set a task of competing and holding on to Hull FC. But when they get in good ball, when they get up this end of the park, they've got players who can cause problems. Albert Kelly, everyone focusing Albert Kelly. What does Maurice Blair do? And Ben Cockayne. 3 very good players when they're carrying the ball.
The Rovers supporters lifted by that try against the arch enemy from across the city. And Hull FC
Move now.
won the most recent meeting between these two sides. It was tight though. Tills,
Move, Scott.
big hit again from Gareth Ellis.
He's putting himself about, isn't he, Gareth Ellis?
Cockayne ducks under the challenge, goes looking for more.
Well, you won't make a dent in Ben Cockayne. Such a fierce competitor. He's not going down in the first challenge of anybody.
5. Move, Scott. Wait.
Now 32 years of age, Ben Cockayne, so he's got bags of experience. He's seen life at both ends of the rugby league spectrum, really, because a lot of his career spent at championship level. He's also played plenty of Super League, so masses of experience.
Go on.
And Hull Kingston Rovers putting it to good use at the moment.
Move, George.
Well, they're working really hard for each other, Hull KR. They're getting off the line. The big thing for them was going into this game was everyone's been writing them off, and they're up against the Hull FC side that themselves haven't been playing well, so they know they've got to be fierce, and when they get an opportunity they've got to make sure that they take that opportunity and pull some points.
Hull FC in possession. Here is Frank Pritchard, now Jamie Shaw being shepherded.
Well, it's 16 minutes into the game and I've not seen Frank Pritchard go into collision when he's carrying the ball. You want to see his big rampaging runs as this year. Huge kick.
Do your best with that one again.
Mantellato was heading back towards his own try line. Ben Cockayne was coming away. They very nearly collided.
Well, Mark Sneyd, he's just getting into his defensive position. He puts that up, and I'm sure as it's gone up, he's watching the flight, watching the trajectory, watches how it's twisting and turning. Fingers crossed. One thing we haven't seen from FC is we haven't seen them with any territory with the ball. Then we'll see what KR are made of. They put all their energy into the stuff with the ball. God's invented two sides of this game, attack and defence.
Just the 4 points on the board. Cockayne gets the pass away to Maurice Blair, whose kick, not the best, into the arms of Curtis Norton.
Well, Bill, the last couple of kicks they've not found the ground, whether that's the good positioning from Hull FC's back three to pouch those balls, but they need to do better.
Watts, the former Rovers man, tackled by his erstwhile colleagues and gets the penalty.
Here we go, this is what we're talking about now. Sustained pressure
Holding down.
for Hull KR. Albert Kelly up against the big man Liam Watts, puts him on his back but just has a second too long. This is the second set of 6
Hands straight off, lads.
that Hull KR will have to defend. Are they up to the task?
Wait.
Can Hull FC get their combinations to click?
First. Move.
Going into this game on the back of that win against Wakefield.
Go on, thank you.
And here is Sneyd now. Sneyd fires the pass to Kurt Newman, and Newman gets the tackle as well. Good defence. Danny Houghton. Scott Taylor.
They're having a good battle, them two. Hunting and looking for one another.
Ben Tills is left down on the ground after that. Again, the big men playing their part in driving this ball towards the line. Ellis this time tackled just short. Houghton now. Sneyd stabs a little grubber kick in, but the only chaser was Liam Watts. They'll get it back.
Yeah, I thought that was a bit of a wasted kick myself as well, Bill, when that ball goes across, but Mark Sneyd is such an intelligent player. He knows that when he kicks this ball, the outside men aren't reacting to what he's doing, so he's got to follow that up. Comes up with a good tackle here on CO. Forces a goal line dropout. And this is the pressure that Lee Radford would have talked about all week. Let's make sure we keep turning them round. Let's trap them down there, their own line. Let's see if they can really handle what we're going to throw at them.
First of the game. Goal line dropout. Josh Mantellato just winding up to launch this one down the field. And it's gathered by Curtis Norton. So this is a good phase for Hull FC. At least they're getting their hands on the ball, getting a bit of possession.
Straight up, Graham.
Here is Liam Watts again. A good run from him.
Big, powerful man, Liam Watts.
They're getting closer. Sneed. Now they're going wide to Frank Pritchard.
That's the first time he's been tackled in nearly 20 minutes, Bill.
Short pass. Taylor is all wrapped up. Cockayne flips him over. Houghton now. Sneed, the ball to Yeoman was there. Referee's waved the tackle counts clean and 6 to go for Hull FC. There was a Rovers hand quite obviously in there. Great opportunity. Ellis again. There's an element to give it to the big lad from Hull FC at the moment. Oh, and then they can't do that. And it comes up for the Robins. An ironic cheers from their supporters.
Well, that's poor play from Hull FC. Danny Houghton normally Mr. Perfection when he passes the ball from dummy half. The execution of the pass normally is a 10 out of 10, but that was a 1 out of 10 from him. Getting him so close to the line. Hull KR condensing the troops around that play of the ball because they know the threat of Danny Houghton, but trying to get the ball out to Mark Sneed, who in turn was lining up the big man Frank Pritchard on the edge.
It was probably Mark Sneed. He was a bit early on his run. The angle that Danny Houghton had to work with was so slight, was like threading the needle, and he hit Gareth Ellis. And I'm going to answer my own question: are they up to the task? Hull KR so far, yes. Great work from the Robins.
Bit of a score to settle for Hull Kingston Rovers, because Hull had the upper hand in meetings between the two sides last year, winning 2 of the 3 encounters. The most recent, Scott Taylor.
He's done that twice. He's come out the line and he's coming from Z defender, cutting across a couple of his teammates. He's certainly got a hunting attitude in defence.
James Green, he feels the full force.
That's just a full-blooded tackle, isn't it?
Was it a tackle?
Well, he throws his body in front. You'll listen to coach say, get your bodies in front. Well, I tell you what, Scott Taylor's certainly done that in the opening 21 minutes. He's been brilliant,
He's been really good, Scott Taylor. Liam Watts has had quite a few games where he's been on the bench. We've got Palliasina to come on. He can certainly charge the ball forward. There isn't much technique to that. It's just get up and do your best, lad.
Do you know, he's been one of the standout props.
Well, I wonder whether it's not so much Scott Taylor. Does James Green hit a knee on his way down there?
But to be going down,
injury, that one,
to be going down, you've got to be going down for a certain reason, and the certain reason was Scott Taylor.
He's just been pirouetted by Scott Taylor.
And the doctors again saying, look, let's get you off and have a look at you. Yeah, he does, he catches one, yeah, you're right.
So, if Scott Taylor doesn't get you, Liam Watts will.
And again, we were on the sideline, and I know I'm 5'10" and
you're not 5'10"
and a slither, me, and I know I'm not the tallest, but the giants.
And he is big, James Green.
It looks like he might have caught a dead leg as well at some point, bit of a limp. So he's got quite round the head, he's got a dead leg.
He's only just come on.
He's only just come on.
I know, and you don't want to see lads leave the pitch. Everyone builds up and everyone wants to play in these games. So when lads leave the pitch, you do feel such sorry for them.
Well, that's 2, because Twumavave off for Hull FC with a knock to the head. And now James Green off for Hull Kingston Rovers. Also, the pitch is very firm. Unusually so for this time of the year, but there's not been a lot of rain for the last couple of weeks. It is very fast, very firm.
Well, Bill, whether you credit Hull FC's hunting mentality in defence here, or they need to buy a bit of time and get a bit deeper on the last play. That's nearly the second time that have been caught out on the last tackle. Hull KR, all the hard work they do in the first 4 or 5 carries, you've got to make sure that you turn the ball over on your terms, place it where you want, try and buy that time on the last play, get a decent play of the ball so you can get a clean kick away.
Straight off. Heads in.
Well, this the first of our 2 offerings for you, because we've got St Helens against Wigan, sold out Langtree Park, 3 o'clock, Sky Sports 1 for that. It'll be just as ferocious as this. This is ferocious. Ask Carlos Tuimavave.
Well, the desire and commitment from both teams is an absolute credit to the sport. I'm sure we're going to see lots of occasions of skill and prowess and some of the subtleties of our game, but it's that desire and commitment that I'm enjoying at the minute.
Yeah, not a great deal of refinement, I think you'd agree.
You don't need it sometimes, though, do you?
Still three.
You're asking too
Not likely to get it with you two around, are we?
You're asking props, Bill.
But it's full-on stuff. And that ball's come out. And it's come out because there was a Hull Kingston Rovers hand in there, says Phil Benkin, who is keeping a very cool head.
Well, you've got to keep the lid on things, haven't you? You know that both sets of players are going to be going at each other. Josh Mantellato doesn't think that this ball's stripped, but again, it's because his right arm, is tucked in the vicinity of the ball carrier. That's why he gives the penalty away. So if you're going to do that and you're trying to wrap the ball up, make sure you get a good, clean grip around the player, clamp the ball, but not have any, or give any clues away to the referee that you've got your arm in there and you're looking to strip that ball.
So Frank Pritchard with the first charge. Jamie Shaw, burst of pace from the full-back, but not able to pierce the Robins defence. Houghton ducks under the first challenge from James Greenwood.
Hold! Goal 3.
Oh, and Ellis can't take that pass. And the ball is spilled. The pass from Josh Bowden.
Dylan, if you look at the play of the ball that led up to this play, Jamie Shaw's behind dummy half saying, what's on, lads? What's on? Mark Sneed's trying to organise something. And when they're in good ball, they've got to know exactly what they're doing. What's my job?
Is this where Leon Price is missed? Because he'd be out there just telling people where things are going to be and who's going to be where, would he?
Well, they'd certainly need an element of composure. That ball was never on, and it was behind from Josh Bowden to Gareth Ellis. And two players were drawn, two KR defenders were drawn to Gareth Ellis. If that ball goes out the back, there's an overlap somewhere in some space.
It didn't, it hasn't, and it's Hull Kingston Rovers who are in possession and holding a 4-0 lead. So not a points fest, despite optimum conditions here.
It's what they call a slugfest, this one.
Here is Graham Horne, and he's been involved in a few slugfests in his long career.
Good hands from Albert Kelly.
Bobby Blair belts the ball down the field.
And that's a better way to turn the ball over. Pass the ball out, two players away from the ruck, bring up the Hull FC defence and then stick it where you want it.
Takes a very good player to catch a bad pass and then give
a good pass.
Give a good pass, yeah.
Hull FC just approaching the halfway line. Kurt Yeaman, second only to Richard Horne on Hull's Super League appearance list. Kurt Yeaman still going strong in his 16th Super League season. Sneed now. Washbrook stretching to get that one. Mahi Vanua heading for the sidelines, just managing to stay in the field of play on the last. So Sneed hoists the kick. Washbrook is chasing and claiming the try.
I think he knocks this ball forward, Washbrook.
On the last tackle.
Well, another video ref call.
I've got
Phil
no
Bentham
try.
agrees. He hasn't seen anything that suggests it is a try. Washbrook, I think.
He knocks the ball forward.
Yeah, as he's challenging from this ball. There we see, it's an interesting change of style. It's an end-over-end kick from Sneed, who's had some joy out of those spirals. A committed chase, and there's the knock-on from Danny Washbrook.
And you can see that from that kick, Washbrook was onside. That's what they were checking for. First of all, the video referee, he makes a play for that. He gets over the top of the Hull KR fullback, Ben Cockayne. Both men can attempt to catch this pass. It does touch Ben Cockayne, but it also touches Danny Washbrook and goes forward. This will be no try. This shows you what Hull FC can do when they get into that decent field position.
James Child, the video ref, having a good look at this. Danny Washbrook not 100% convinced himself, as he's got his first of the season. Unlikely, I'd say.
Hand over.
But it's the closest Lee Rafford side have come. Well, no, they had that Twumavave no try as well.
Well, let's not forget.
No tries.
Let's not forget, Twumavave is off the pitch at the minute. He started the game at standoff. Danny Washbrook, he's come on and he's playing that role, you feel, at the minute. He's definitely not a pivot.
That's it.
And he'll give you endeavour all day long, Danny Washbrook. And that showed in that committed chase then.
First, move Scott.
Clap of the hands from young George Lawler. And here's Adam Walker.
2, move Mark.
It's a good start to the season,
Back
Walker,
in,
the Bradford-born prop.
3, move now.
Ben Cockayne.
Goal 3.
Cockayne serves it up to Greenwood. It's James
4,
Greenwood.
move back up. Hold.
Lawler gives way to Ben Cockayne,
Shot 10.
who takes him on.
5.
He's always looking for work again, isn't he?
Goal.
And now Lawler. Kelly kicks to the line. Ooh, silky hands from Jamie Shaw.
1, move.
It wasn't a big expansive set of 6 from Hull KR. They all knew their job. Just nice and simple, just one-up carries from the ruck, but turning the ball over in the
2,
corner.
move Morris.
You're right, Bill. Wonderful skill from Jamie Shaw to collect that ball. They're having to work hard again, Hull FC.
Steve Michaels
3, move George.
with a short run. Kurt Yeaman in the play before, furious to think that the referee didn't spot.
4,
Suddenly had a hold of his ankle as he was trying to get to his feet.
Goal.
Plonked the ball down. Here is Becca Paliasina off the bench. First Super League appearance of the season for the big man.
Goal.
Now Sneed. Minicello. Oh, the ball's been snaffled by Ken Sio. And Sio, it's see you later for Hull Kingston Rovers. Ken Sio, second try of the game, his third try of the season, snaffling that pass as Hull FC tried to be expansive. Normally a wingman playing in the centres, but nevertheless a great finisher. He got 24 tries last year, and he's that sort of finisher. Sees a chance, grabs it.
Bill, I was about to say, Mark Minicello's been quiet in this game until he pops up with this past the blind offload to Ken Sio. This is his first showing in the centre this year for Hull KR. One of the quickest men on the books, and as soon as he gets in the clear, you know that it's going to be a try for the Robins. The blind offload goes into collision, knows that they've got numbers, then it could have been a 3-on-2 if they had a bit more depth, so blew an opportunity themselves, but Ken Sio chased down by Scott Taylor, the Hull FC prop forward, but this wasn't on, surely, Barry.
Ken Sio, he doesn't need a second invitation. As you quite rightly said, it's one of the fastest men on the pitch getting on the scoreboard.
Well, Hull FC shooting themselves in the foot there. Lee Radford and Andy Last alongside him.
Bill,
You'll know that.
Sorry, Bill, where he expected them to be strong and physical and try and bully Hull KR. They've not had it going their own way. So then they're trying to play outside of them. And as I say, Mark Minicello, one of the most devastating players that Hull FC have got. Like, he doesn't need to come up with that pass.
So Minicello, who missed with his only other conversion attempt in this game.
Time on.
This time, he's on target. And Hull Kingston Rovers assembling a tidy lead here, 10 points to 0.
Well, I want you to watch the decision. Mark Sneed chooses the front door pass. It's 3v2. And Jamie Shaw, if he gets that ball round the back earlier, he can create a chance, an opportunity, and those are the margins in derby games. Lovely finish from the Robins.
And then they almost make a hash of the restart. It was a great signing, Ken Sio. They did well to get him out of the NRL from the Parramatta Eels. He got 37 tries in 57 games in his NRL career, and he's carried on scoring, and Hull FC have been penalised. Not enjoying this at the moment.
No, you talk about when you score tries, you've got to complete that next set of 6, and what's better for Hull KR is that they get a penalty, they don't make that mistake.
Well, Frank Pritchard, he's on the pitch at the same time as Palliasina. And Hull KR seem to be going from one to the other, making all the defenders around those big men a little bit nervous. They're jumping in, staying out, and that's a perfect tactic with big plays like that.
Greenwoods.
Held, move!
Half an hour gone at the KC Lightstream Stadium, and game so far largely belonging to Hull Kingston Rovers. 2 FC tries disallowed, but Hull Kingston Rovers have taken their chances. Budebsa is on the field, the little French hooker, and a good run from him. Rovers fans claiming he was caught high, but he plays the ball quickly. Here's Kelly, oof, and Cocaine gets the pass and the tackle from Kirk Yeaman at the same time. Here's James Greenwood, good drive from him. Another quick play the ball, but Debsa, Rovers looking for more points here.
Oh, if that ball went wide, then I'm sure that was a certain try. It was a quick play of the ball, but Debsa on from dummy half. Rob Mulhern as well started all that set of 6 off with a telling drive.
It's good work from the press players, isn't it? Rob Mulhern, come on, James. Greenwood played that ball as quick as he could. But Hull KR in full control of this match at the minute.
It was the last tackle, that play, so Hull FC in possession, and now they get the penalty. That's a big bonus for them.
Well, that's the strong carry, and this is the sort of play you'd expect from Mark Minichiello. Very rarely gets dominated in a collision, always lands on his front, so powerful, getting to his feet.
Budebsa, the man penalised, I think. Hull FC need to just burst this Rovers bubble at the moment. Haven't really got any dominance in this game, despite the physical dominance that they've got.
He's gassed, Pritchard.
Is that very lateral or what?
Pritchard, that's the big go-to play for him. You see him acting half. He's had a lot of defence to do, a lot of work to do. Looks tired when he's carrying the ball. That's his main asset.
Move on him!
There is Frank the Tank, one of the big close season signings in Super League, in the sense that he is big, and also he's a big name. Kirk Yeaman.
He's made 16 tackles already. The last 3 or 4 weeks he's been making an average of 6 in a game.
4 tackles gone. Sneed stamps a grubber kick in, and everything seems to be going the Robins' way at the moment. That ricochet could have gone anywhere. It went into the hands of Greenwood.
Well, what they're doing, Hull KR, they just put themselves where the action is. Wherever Hull FC look like they're shifting the ball, wherever they are, they're just making sure they're in front of them.
Move!
It's so important as well for Hull FC, because they've only got really one playmaker on there in Mark Sneed, that the forwards play a dominant role, and so far they're not doing that. There's no platform for them to play off.
Here comes the red and white charge again on, and pass was fired at Mantellato by, I think it was Ian Thornley.
Yeah, softer hands, Bill.
Yeah.
Softer hands, gets on the outside of Vanua. Looks to get that 2-on-1 with Michaels, but it was just too hard.
And I think also this try line, Josh Mantellato's conscious and cautious of that try line. He maybe had another metre to play with. Very difficult when you've got the back to the try line to know where you are on the pitch.
So it will be Hull FC feed on the halfway line. James Webster, he and Lee Radford were the rival captains in the first Super League derby between Hull and Rovers in 2007. And they've worked with each other, they know each other well, they've got a lot of respect and time for each other. But there's too much at stake for any sentiment today.
Well, there's no friendship when you're on opposite sides of the fence, Bill. And James Webster told me a wonderful story about the first time he met Lee Radford. He said he didn't understand what he was saying. He was just this toothless man who was working in a sports shop, and turned out to be a great friend. He said he's still a toothless man. He's just not working in a sports shop anymore.
No, he's working in a very high-pressure job with very demanding supporters who want their team to hit the heights. They haven't done so far. That was a forward pass. There was one earlier in this set that looked marginal, but that one was called by Phil Bentham.
It's so close. You try and practice getting over the ad line as soon as you can, but it's just a couple of centimetres really. You try and get into top speed, get your team going forward, create that momentum, and Lee Radford knows you don't want to turn over that cheap ball. You don't want to let the opposition know that they're in with a chance of winning the game. You want to put that doubt in the mind as well.
Here we go, heads in.
Some nerves there in those spectators. They know they've been outplayed opening 36 minutes or so.
Go.
Here's one of the Rovers try scorers in this first half, Ryan Shaw.
Second. Move. Hold.
Debza back
Go.
in the side after that 4-game ban for the tackle on Michael Shenton earlier in the season. That's a penalty. Danny Houghton furious with that decision from referee Bentham, but
Yeah, very clumsy. See Palesina, the number 14. He's also made 7 tackles. Not noted for his defence. That man he'll defend all day long.
First.
10 points on the scoreboard against the Black and Whites. There's another mistake and another penalty.
To go for 2 points here. Or did you keep on going? I'd go for 2 points.
Yes, I'd go for 2.
with Mantellato in the side, that's the inclination, and he's wandering over. Yeah,
Cut those 2 you dropped after the try.
Yeah, less than 3 minutes to go to half-time. Just get your composure. Don't concede any points. A couple of strong carries that have led to Hull FC giving away those penalties. And this is playing right into the hands of James Webster's men.
he'll be very satisfied with this first 40 minutes. Looking very
really
cool, looking very dapper.
Yeah, he must have borrowed that suit, James Webster. Really intelligent player when he played.
Mantellato, meanwhile, has the ball teed up.
Stand still, lads.
That was a career best return last weekend against Salford, that 8 from 10. And this is bang onto the posts and sails over towards those FC supporters in the distance, and just edges Hull Kingston Rovers further ahead by 12 points to 0 as half-time approaches.
Well, Hull KR, their anthem is give us a little respect from Erasure. Well, they're certainly earning that respect today. Very comprehensive 38 minutes or so. Can they finish it off and go into half-time in this positive streak?
Well, what James Webster will be hoping is that they don't do what they did against Salford last week, where they dominated the first half there and very nearly blew it. They allowed Salford to get back to within 6 points of them.
They did do well, but the big plus for them was they found a way to win that game, didn't they?
Debza, Gallic flopped from the hooker, and now
There we go. There we go.
is it FC's frustration? Oh, and that suddenly throws the ball.
Well, there's a lot of frustration, isn't it, in the Hull FC players?
But Debza's thrown that ball. He's dived on the floor,
Walk away.
got back up, started pushing and shoving,
Gone
and thrown
round
the
and
ball.
apologised to Danny Houghton.
Yeah, well,
This is what it means to the players now. Both sets won't back down. They won't show a sign of weakness.
Oh dear me.
Well, it was a shoulder charge, but you don't go down like that. Come on, just keep your feet, keep playing.
no.
Don't try and just milk a penalty.
Well, that's a shot. Ben Cockayne being around the vicinity.
Debza lobs it in from the back.
Yeah, but then stands back and then goes round the back and apologises to Danny Houghton.
Okay, it was a shoulder.
Unsportsmanlike use of the ball.
When he sees all these big men in front of him, he thinks, yeah, they'll get away with that. Yeah, that was a shoulder charge.
Josh Bowden.
But it was a penalty. It was a penalty because it was a shoulder charge. But don't milk the penalty. You don't need to do that.
Got him
You
on
need
the
to
shoulder.
be the Chelsea side
Okay,
to do
shoulder
that.
charge. All right, walk away, Ben. All right, walk away.
Ben Cockayne
John.
involved as well. And Phil Bentham.
Ben.
Very measured
Ben, wait here.
response from him.
Okay, I understand. Yeah, he threw the ball at
Debs'
somebody.
English is
Then
very
he
good.
reignites it. Okay, you need to leave that out. Okay, Ben also running in. First
England
penalty,
end up
shoulder charge.
Yep, the original offence, which was the shoulder charge.
So he's got the offence. What we're all talking about, what Bedeb said. I don't know whether he was trying to point to him and then the ball actually came out of his hand. Because I don't know what he would have gained from throwing the ball at play. It's not going to hurt anybody.
Hold lads. Wait for it. Discipline tackle, lads.
The penalty to Huta has sounded, so last
Who wants this one?
play of the first 40 minutes. And that's Cockayne. Ball gone backwards, says the referee. Play continues, it's gone to ground now. And that'll be the end of the first 40 minutes. And that little passage, summing up what at times has been a scrappy first 40 minutes, but it's been a satisfactory first 40 minutes for Hull Kingston Rovers and their supporters, because they've scored a couple of tries. Amontillado has kicked a couple of goals, and they lead by 12 points to 0 at the break. Yes, Hull FC with some work to do in this second half. All set to go. Mark Sneed with the ball teed up. And a big second half teed up here at the KC Lightstream Stadium. Rovers playing with the sun still blazing down here in East Hull at their backs.
Move!
And I wonder what Hull FC's response to a disappointing first 40 minutes will be. Could have been different if the video ref had smiled on them, but they've lost that ball. Oh, and they've got a penalty very early on in the play in this second half. There was a little nudge from Gareth Ellis in the view of referee Phil Bentham. Just very
They're 50-50 calls then.
was little boot in there.
Gareth Ellis trying to control it. Bowden as well, Josh Bowden, he's involved in it. But to answer your question, Bill, I think the Black and Whites, they need to score for their own mindset. They put everything into this half. Whatever they've touched has just fallen down around them, and they need to get something out of these first 5 minutes, or you really fear for them.
Well, from that penalty, Hull Kingston Rovers are immediately on the attack, and here is Ben Cockayne having a busy game for the Red and Whites. Sneed claiming that Cockayne lost that ball. Yeaman and Cockayne, as play continues, in back play, exchanging pleasantries. And the conversation joined by some of their teammates as well.
Yeah, it's all gone now though. On with the game.
Here's Kelly. Kelly taken high. The referee didn't see anything wrong with that challenge from Gareth Ellis. Maurice Blair puts the kick in. Ricochets still on the last, says the referee. Kelly hoists the kick. There are numbers there, and it's well claimed by Mahe Fanua.
And the Black and Whites certainly have some enthusiasm to start this second half with. Albert Kelly puts a high hanging kick in, and Fanua, he's got the challenge of making those metres. And as I say, you do feel the further up the pitch they get, the more likely it is that Hull FC will score.
Let's get an insight into what the thinking was at half-time, or maybe we'll wait, because here comes Hull FC in the shape of Frank Pritchard. Oh, that ball.
Back to one, I think.
It's back to one, because Kelly made a lunge at it, and Hull FC have another set of 6.
Move now!
You can see just lunges forward, the temptation's just too much. Spotted that there was no 9 behind the dummy half, so he thought he was going to get that ball back.
Ellis plays the ball, and that's another penalty in this one in favour of Hull FC. So the penalty count evening up, 7-4 now in favour of Hull Kingston Rovers, that penalty count. So Sneed drills the ball into the corner.
And this is exactly what they need, speaking with Lee Radford. downstairs. He's saying we'll get an opportunity, and this could be an opportunity. We need to be smarter with the ball. We need to make sure that we turn up. There's no one-up carries, and we need some territory. And if you talk about James Webster, a smiling coach, well, he's absolutely beaming.
Well, he's beaming now because that ball has bobbled up. And now then, what's Phil Bentham seen there? It was knocked on. James Webster wondering what the decision is going to be. He's looking to his touch judge, and he's giving head and feet to Hull Kingston Rovers. The ball, the initial pass was forward. You were talking about James Webster.
Yeah, well, James Webster, he said that we've handled Hull's forwards and we've opened them up a few times when they've had the ball. We need to make sure that we keep playing tough, keep matching them, and keep moving them around. Let's not just put the ball under our wing and just try and take them on and match them because we're on top. We need to make sure that we back ourselves, take our chances, we'll go on and win this game. And just some injury news. Carlos Tumavavi, he's failed a concussion test, so we will not be back.
Well,
So
that makes it very difficult for the Black and Whites. Just to extend the point that I was making about Big Frank Pritchard, he'd made, just going into the half-time break, he'd made a total of 18 tackles, and Danny Houghton, normally a tackling machine, he'd only made 21. So the reason that the forwards are ineffective is they're having to do a lot more work defensively.
And they've moved Frank Pritchard from the right onto the left-hand side. So whether they're trying to bring him into the game, they've switched Mark Minicello to the right side, we'll wait and see.
There's Hull Kingston Rovers in possession at the moment, just crossing the halfway line. On the last, Kelly hoists the kick. Steve Michaels safely underneath that one, and Michaels with a good return.
Well, that is how you return a ball, isn't it? As soon as you catch it, get into top speed as quick as you can. There's maybe one of those one-up carries that Richard Horn and Lee Radford were on about. Make sure you push up. Anyone who can get their arm free, you've got to be there in support.
Gareth Ellis, as usual, a really busy, wholehearted contribution from the former West Tigers hero. On the halfway line, the side still finding each other out at the start of this second half. Ball back on the inside to Jamie Shaw. Here's Minicello now. Minicello not afraid to try that pass again. The last time he tried that, it came up for Ken Seo, and Hull Kingston Rovers have got that ball back. The touch judge is on, and maybe thinking that there was an FC player held back there as he tried to go for that ball. He was.
Yeah, there's a penalty here. Well, the ball came off a Hull KR player anyway, and there's a penalty here for Hull FC. So this is the territory that they're after. This is the territory that they would have talked about. Create that momentum now going forward.
As Danny Washbrook putting the kick into touch with Tumavavi out of the reckoning for the rest of this game. Danny Washbrook's going to be a busy man. So here comes the FC, about 15 metres out, looking for a big start to this second half. Houghton spoons the ball up. Minicello now takes the pass from Washbrook, takes the tackle as well, almost back where they started. Houghton scoots himself, he is brought down. Cockayne with the tackle. Stutter from Josh Bowden. Bowden still going. Rovers back on their own try line now. Here is Sneed. Sneed delays the pass and looks for an opportunity. It's not there. Ben Cockayne again in the thick of it. Houghton kicks cross field. Michaels will go up for it, but it's Mantellato who claims that one.
Well, they're in all kinds of trouble here, Hull FC. Sneed gets tackled on the last. Danny Houghton has to put it up. It's not a bad effort from the hooker, but that's certainly not his job on a regular basis. The big tall Mantellato, he gets over his opposite and pouches the ball for his team.
This is a real problem for Hull FC, isn't it? Because obviously Leon Price out of the reckoning at the moment. Tumavavi, who started the season in the centres, deputising. He's off now. Danny Washbrook having to occupy that role.
But as I said, well, like I said in the first half, it'd be easier for them if they were going forward, if they were winning those battles with the forwards, but Hull KR are on top.
As Kelly hoists the kick, doesn't it? Any great depth on it, but well claimed. Kelly chasing up, hoping for a ricochet off Curtis Norton, but nothing came. Here is Kurt Yeaman now, familiar, stuttering run. Jamie Shaw hoping for a quick play the ball and a little bit of a fractured defence, but there's no sign of any gaps there for him to exploit.
Well, again, Jamie Shaw not coming off the back of a quick play the ball. That's where you want to see Jamie Shaw. Who's going to learn, who's going to do all that dirty work? Taking a tackle and taking some big tackles as well from the Hull KR big set of 6.
Washbrook fires the pass to Mahe Fonua. He's lost the ball and it's a knock-on.
Well, the frustration's coming into and creeping into the Hull side is because they know that they're behind on the scoreboard. The minutes are ticking down. They're trying to, every time that they get their arms free, do they look for an offload? Mantellato coming off over the top, steps off his right foot, comes over, locks up the ball, just dislodges that. So it is a loose carry. And Fonua, well, a player that's fabulous. You give him a bit of space and he'll score some tries. So strong when he's going forward carrying the ball.
Holds the distinction of being the first Melbourne-born player to play for the Melbourne Storm, Mahe Fonua.
Speed of the rock, make sure we come straight up.
Big signing, the Tongan international. Here's Josh Mantellato.
Move, Danny. Oh, God.
Now then, Albert Kelly enjoying his return to the Hull Kingston Rovers side today. Kelly celebrated his 25th birthday earlier this week. Kelly, and hoping that the week will round off. There he is with a victory over FC. At the moment, it's looking good. They lead by 12 points to 0, but it won't take much for this game to well, it will, at the way we're going. It needs FC to find some attacking potency.
Well, they've just not got any rhythm so far, Hull FC.
And they haven't got their defence together at the moment as Maurice Blair gets the pass away, but Debser finds Thornley. Thornley might go all the way. Ian Thornley adds to Hull FC's woes, but referee Phil Bentham is not convinced.
Tackle 4. I'm going to try.
Reckons it's
just
a try.
Bubble just before he grabs the ball.
Wants to see.
Can you just check that, please, James?
What happened in the build-up to that Ian Thornley possible try?
Well, it was lovely interplay, and the question is about the grip and control of Thornley as he goes over. Minicello doing the best job he can. No, he does not lose control of that ball. Doesn't look like on that angle anyway. We'll have another look from this angle. Ian Thornley, he's a little bit short. Momentum keeps going. Is there a bobble or a nudge? Well, Phil Bentham, he's in the right place and the best place. He gave it as a try. There's still a player down on the floor as we watch a replay.
I think it's Mark Minicello. That's Minicello's trying to make the tackle there on Thornley, and he's been left down on the field. To add insult to possible injury, it is another try, I'm sure, for Hull Kingston Rovers, and second successive try for Ian Thornley, the former Wigan man. And James Webster mighty pleased with the way this game is going for him and his team. They lead by 16 points to 0.
Well, a good first half performance from Hull KR, and they've started this second half off really well. The opening 10 minutes has been all about them and what they're doing. Mark Minicello still struggling on the ground, but that will give them confidence as well. Again, the shift plays and going into collision, just riding those tackles, keeping your feet, looking for one of your teammates who's in a better position than you. And then Ian Thornley, when he goes and when he's attacking the Hull FC defenders who are backing off, trying to buy that bit of time, trying to get one of the teammates inside who's going to come back and help them out. You've got to say Blur, he's strong, but Debser gives the ball to Thornley, holds it in two hands, then backs himself to score the try. Great finish as well.
Well, Tez, when you talk to the coaching staff at Hull FC, they talked about players pushing into that next hole. There's a perfect example there from Hull KR. As soon as a player gets his arm free, there is somebody available, and if they're marked, as we see, hopefully Mantellato is free to carry on this game for the Black and Whites. My word, they're having a good afternoon.
It's Mark Minicello who's still getting some treatment. He got under underneath, tried to get underneath Ian Thornley, and went over on his neck, as you can see from this replay.
Yeah, nasty.
And then he's got Thornley landing on him as well. So,
well, Minicello's is one of the leaders of this team, and it'll be a sad sight to see him leave.
Tuimavave already ruled out for the rest of the game.
Yeah, at least he's up, at least he's walking.
So his fellow Italian international Josh Mantellato will try and goal this from the sidelines. Mantellato lining the kick up. The breeze, a gentle one at his back. He's teed that up perfectly, swings it through the posts. And those Rover supporters sensing another Easter victory against their big rivals.
Well, a quality finish from Ian Thornley. He has Mantellato in support, backs himself to finish the try. Watch Webster's reaction to this. I think he's a bit surprised.
Cockayne is underneath the restart. Real problems for Hull FC. They've now got two players out of action, Tuimavave and Minicello. And Hull Kingston Rovers have got an 18-0 lead.
Bill, and they're two of the biggest weapons, aren't they? Lee Radford knows it's backs against the wall time now, lads. Let's see what you've got in this final half hour. We're getting beat by effort, we're getting beat by energy, enthusiasm.
It's Graham Horne now for Hull Kingston Rovers against his former club. Horne plays the ball. Started this second half promisingly, but they just haven't been able to find a way through the Rovers' defence. It's a great kick.
Intelligence. Big chase, great kick. Look at that, numbers there. The red and white shirts flooding forward here.
Tough times. There's 6 in the table, Hull FC, you forget that. 3 wins to their name so far this season, but this is a tough Easter. They've got Warrington to come after this. And they might be down on numbers.
Is it Warrington then Saints? It's 2 big games for Hull FC, whereas Hull KR have got Wigan and Leeds. So both of these sides want the 2 points.
Not much easier then.
No, it's not, but what you want to do when you're going into the big games is come up with not only with a decent performance, but walk away from the games where you've been so committed, you walk away with 2 points as well.
Still time. Plenty of time for the black and whites to find a way back into this game. Danny Houghton. Sneed now. Jamie Shaw. Shaw, though, hounded by that Rovers defence. Great work out there.
Well, I don't think they're asking enough questions. It's easy for if you're just passing the ball and just shipping it on to players who are outside it. All the defence has to do is just keep pointing up. I've got him, I'm going to push off. You keep working him towards the touchline.
Here's Sneed. Gets the pass away just as Tilse clatters him, and Washbrook is travelling backwards as well. Maurice Blair.
He's had a big tilt. Sorry, Bill, he's had a big tilt, hasn't he?
Ellis. He'll do everything in his power to drive this FC side forward. So will Danny Houghton. For Noah out of play.
On the last tackle, Danny Houghton, he gets a fast ruck. He's had nothing to play off all day. And the temptation to go down the short side, it had a low percentage of success. Quick hands, can't release the fullback Michaels or the winger Michaels. Andy Last and Lee Radford can only watch and wonder what's going through the minds of their players. Certainly not how they practice, not how they prepared to take on Hull KR, and they're in a really tough spot now, the black and whites.
Trailing by 18 points to 0 in this, the first of our Good Friday games. Coming up next, St Helens against Wigan. I'm sure Langtree Park, the fever is building up there. The pressure cooker really is intensifying, just as it is here. The pressure's certainly on Hull FC. Coming up to the hour mark, they trail by 18 points to 0 against an improving Hull Kingston Rovers side, and this man's presence has something to do with that. Albert Kelly has picked up a knock there.
Well, he's getting excited. There's a high shot on Albert Kelly.
I think it's Bowden, Josh Bowden. He's got a smaller, more agile man. There you go, watch this. Just hits him just around the chops. But Albert Kelly, I like to see that in plays. He's not diving on the floor. We've already seen that this afternoon. None of that nonsense, thank you. Carry on, get up, play on with the game. He's had a wonderful afternoon, this fella.
Former Gold Coast Titans player Albert Kelly. The penalty back about 25 metres out, and Josh Mantellato has got the kicking tee, and he'll look to extend James Webster's team's lead.
Bill, and that's an indication to what's going through the minds of Hull KR. Albert Kelly in that set of 6 ran at the Hull defensive line, taking them on, so the confidence is building. And the likes of Albert Kelly backing himself to beat some of them. You've got Bedebza out there who'll cause problems. Maurice Blur and Ken C, who scored that fabulous try in the first half. So they've got the players who can cause Hull FC problems, and can this kick go over? Pressure kick here from Mantellato.
But he can handle that pressure. Elegant, easy for Josh Mantellato. 20 points to 0, easy it isn't. But Hull Kingston Rovers on their way to their first nilling of their arch enemies since 1993. 20 points to 0, the scoreline at the moment. That ball has come up for Adam Walker. Walker to Bedebza.
Hull FC got it back from the kick-off. They knocked it back, and it went into a Rovers hand. The first to everything at the minute, Hull KR. That shows they've been winning the energy battle. They've got plenty still in the tank. Bedebza goes down again.
Here it comes off. Is it Scott Taylor who bats it back? Well, Bedebza goes down here, and as soon as he goes down, Liam Watts turns round to the referee. He thinks that there's a knock-on from the French international.
He's okay to continue. Bedebza wants a Pierre and Lesignon. Smart signing he was for Hull Kingston Rovers. Unheralded player, but he's given them good value.
He's one of those bargain buys that's come into the club and really enhanced what they're doing, isn't he?
Of course, his fellow Frenchman Kevin Laroyer is still out, will be out. I was talking to him before the game for another 8 weeks potentially. That is a big loss for them, but they seem to be coping pretty well in his absence, in the absence of 1 or 2 other players as well. Terry Campese notably. Knock on there.
Good decision from Michaels to come in and shut that down from the black and whites. He had to take the risk, take the gamble, and Thornley can't catch it and pass it at the same time. Just going back to Bedebza, Bill, did he persuade you to eat snails, escargot?
He'd never get me to eat snails, not after what happened the previous time. The last time. No, won't go into that. Won't go into that. Frog's legs, Barry.
That's it, yeah. How did they taste?
Very nice, very nice, very chickeny.
Yeah, don't get me eating them, and I'll eat anything.
Jamie Shaw, this is what he wants. This is Jamie Shaw's opportunity to get Hull FC back into this game. And he gets to the try line, plunks that ball down. Referee Bentham says it's a try. It's a lifeline for Hull FC. A try out of nothing for Jamie Shaw. Rovers went to sleep. Shaw pounced. They're back in it.
Well, he's a strike player, isn't he, Jamie Shaw? When he gets into the clear, he's so quick. He'll take on Ben Cockayne. He knows that he's got him for speed. Graham Horn, I think it is trying to push him out, keep him out to the sideline. Made 161 metres last week versus Wakefield, carrying the ball, Jamie Shaw. Excellent young player. Can this kick go over from Mark Sneyd here? Important kick.
Sneyd, 22 goals already for Hull FC this season, and he knows how to land them against Rovers. He kicked 7 from 8 against them at last May's Magic Weekend win. That 46 points to 20 victory. They need these 2 points. They've got them. They've got hope. Jamie Shaw's try has helped give them that.
Well, it's Kurt Eamon's offload back inside. He has to be there in that position, Jamie Shaw. That's the role of a fullback. Follow that ball, and they put more metres on the board, more metres on the clock, more kilometres, as they say nowadays. And he has to be in the right spot. He collects that and finishes it well.
And it was that mention of another nilling that obviously got to Hull FC because they didn't like that prospect. Norton hoping that the referee would accept he wasn't tackled, but referee Phil Bentham tells him to play the ball back there.
Move now!
An hour gone, 20 points to 6. Still time for Hull FC to turn this game around. Washbrook now, Washbrook steps back in field.
Move!
Are they going to unsettle the Robins? Ellis, another try, back-to-back tries for Hull FC, and that would have them a little bit anxious in red and white colours. Sneed, here is Frank Pritchard. Pritchard, short pass. Yeaman plays the ball. Sneed hoists it deep. It's a good one. It's into sort of no man's land. Mantellato and Cockayne came for it. Cockayne claimed it.
Well, you want a dominant call. Cockayne as the fullback. I think he was waiting until the very last second before he went to claim that. And 2 players nearly collided. Mantellato just moved out of the way in time.
And it's Cockayne who is quickly there to pick up that ball and scoot.
Goal 4.
Maurice Blair drills that kick downfield. That is a great kick. That's what Rovers needed.
That's fabulous. That buys you some energy.
Oh, and then Jamie Shaw glides past the first line of defence and glides round the next. And glides almost all the way to the 40-metre line. Great return from the full-back.
It is, but that's poor defence. If you get such a good kick away, you've got to make sure your defensive line is getting up and it's talking. With the likes of Jamie Shaw, a man who can create something out of nothing like he did with that try, you need to make sure you switch on.
Pritchard rumbles and then offloads, and there's a little bit of confidence coming back into the Hull FC handling now. And Pritchard again. Pritchard once more able to offload. Ellis is there in support.
He's worked so hard, Gareth Ellis. On his blood to water today.
Houghton, Washbrook. Mahefanoa. He's tackled. Just need to settle down to Hull Kingston Rovers, just in case they're starting to get a little bit anxious. They still hold a decent lead, but they've got Hull FC fired up now, coming at them, fired up and looking for more points, and fired up and getting them from Danny Houghton. They're back in this game with a vengeance. And it's turned around for those supporters. It's turned around for Lee Radford. And Danny Houghton gets a second try of the game to make it 20 points to 10. Kick to come.
Well, we've got a game on now. Lee Radford at half-time asked his players, push yourself into the next hole. Look at how many black and white players are offering themselves. Some question marks on some of these offloads, but you can't doubt the quality, energy and enthusiasm. Something that's been lacking it for the Hull FC players and the Hull FC team in general. Good stuff. Gets them back in this game. Scott Taylor providing the last pass. Those are the boos that you can hear from those black and white fans. Great stuff.
Scott Taylor, Liam Watts, Danny Houghton, 3 of the biggest players for Hull FC. Wow, you've got to hold your nerves here, Bill.
Great handling, but was that pass from Taylor to Watts forward? Certainly in the eyes of the Hull Kingston Rovers supporters, it clearly was. But they would say that, wouldn't they, as Sneyd confirms 2 more points. Houghton's tried gold by Sneyd, 20 points to 12. Here you go.
Well, here's the offload. Does it go forward? Well, from that angle, it looks like it is. That one goes back from Watson. In that set of 6, it was all hands on deck from Hull FC. They know they're running out of time. They know they've got to push the pass. But when they push the pass, make it an easier catch for your teammate. Don't just put him under pressure. And he's certainly game on. And how important will that 2 points, that penalty that Josh Mantellato kicked around 10 minutes ago?
Oh, and FC get the penalty. 20 points to 12, 15 minutes to go. It's the Hull derby, and there's never any shortage of drama. Remember the Etihad Stadium 2012, 2013?
Yeah.
We've got it coming again.
Yeah.
It is nailed on.
The quality these derby games, aren't they? The big fellas having a go now. All the big influential players now for Hull FC are putting up their hands. They want to be involved in this derby. They don't want to lose. Offloading again in collision.
Suddenly Rovers are struggling. They're just looking a little bit flustered because their opponents are dominating proceedings at the moment. Danny Houghton, Danny Washbrook, Gareth Ellis. They're out 20 metres. Here's Sneyd. Big Frank. Oh, Norton puts the ball. It's Yeaman who puts the ball down. And the opportunity goes begging. An ironic Yemo cheers from the Rovers supporters.
Well, it was a 3-on-3. Frank Pritchard, he gives a delicate pass, and Kurt Yeamans, he's got eyes for Ken Sio. He's wondering what he's going to do. Is he going to draw and pass, release the winger, run over the top, step in?
I agree with you, Barry. It was a 3-on-3, but a man mountain. You've got Frank Pritchard. He's got a half-back in front of him. Not saying Albert Kelly can't defend, but take him on. Try and bump him off, try and offload the ball, try and attract some other Hull KR defenders.
So Hull Kingston Rovers get the ball back, and they'll try now and just settle things down. Get Hull FC up the other end of the field, play the game down there, diffuse some of the energy that Hull FC have rediscovered since they got a lifeline in this game. Here's Kelly, and Kelly kicking early.
Bill, that's the game. Played the territory. Just get it away from your trial line, but you don't want to make any mistakes. Albert Kelly taking control in that set, knowing that as soon as he gets a quick play of the ball, he knows exactly what he's going to do.
So Hull Kingston Rovers are in familiar territory because they were leading Salford 30 points to 6 last weekend, and ended up seeing Salford coming back. 44-30 the final score, but Salford got to within 6 points at one stage, so they're no strangers to jitters, and there might be some more for them now because Frank Pritchard has got the ball and they're backtracking again.
Great line from Kurt Yeaman, and a good offload as well to the big fella.
Taylor, Sneyd fires the pass to Washbrook. Washbrook gets the pass back to Sneyd, and the Rovers supporters wondering why he was able to get that pass away so easily.
Hull KR fans have just gone a touch quiet now, Bill.
Michaels takes the tackle, 20 metres out. That's number 4. Washbrook, Taylor.
5.
That's the 5th. Sneyd there to hoist the kick, is he? Absolutely. It's more into midfield though. Claimed and eventually batted back, and that's good work. Still on the last, the referee says that Watts wasn't tackled, but Scholl chips ahead. Still going, Jamie Scholl. Great work from the fullback.
Well, Hull FC on that last tackle. Sneyd puts it up high. There's a contest, a few offloads. Jamie Scholl ends up with it, and he decides to kick it, follow it. He's a good player, Jamie Scholl. Bags of energy and enthusiasm. As I said, there hasn't been enough of it in the black and white shirts. Some individuals have maintained their energy and given as much as they've got. And Lee Radford, he knows that this game is still winnable.
Seems to have changed, hasn't it? The flow of this game in the last, 13, 14 minutes. All seems to be Hull FC, and James Webster, wow animated is he now?
He looked so calm about 15 minutes ago, but feeling the tension here. That's a wicked goal line dropout, and had Sneed struggling in the sunlight. Bowden barrels it back for Hull.
Bring it back with some intensity. That's what Bowden did.
Watch the ball held in one hand.
Still got it. He's got it. 2, go.
Plays it. And then Sneed finds Pritchard.
3.
Swivel from him.
Just feel there's a try coming here for Hull FC.
There's Kelly down on his haunches. Norton.
Move. Here.
He plays the ball. Geeman, I beg your pardon. Keeping it alive. Taylor now loping across the field. Bats them away. Still going Scott Taylor. Hull retreating to their own try line. Houghton, Sneed, long ball. Ellis gets it, clutches it, back to Shaw. Shaw trying to improvise. Doing so well. Mahe Fanua kicks ahead, and Cocaine cool as a cucumber, but they were taken out, says the referee.
I think you're right.
Shoulder in there.
I think you're right. I think the Black and Whites continue to pile the pressure on Fanua. He gets bumped off by Thornley, and they're just offloading the ball. Too much for Hull KR's liking, but it's playing right into the hands of the Black and Whites. They look a lot more threatening when they're doing that.
Go on, lads, come on.
He's bouncing about now, isn't he, James Webster?
We're back, come on.
Fanua! Mahe Fanua has got over the try line, right under the nose of the referee Phil Bentham, and the gap narrows still further. Those Hull FC supporters cannot believe it. Lee Radford remains as cool as a cucumber, but Mahe Fanua back in the side after 5 games out, get his second try of this season and making the most of that penalty.
Well, it comes around because of this penalty here from Thornley. Fanua, who's the man who's taken out from the Hull KR left centre. A simple play, and that's too soft on your own try line. Danny Houghton, such intelligent, the no-look pass. Ian Thornley just loses his man. He thinks that he's looking and concentrating on the man who's sweeping out the back. Takes his eyes off that man, and wow, this is it. James Webster knows that they are under pressure now.
He's doing a very good job of remaining very calm, Lee Radford. Arms folded. Hardly a flicker, but he must sense that if Sneed can claim these points, he's missed it, but still at 20 points to 16, there is still time.
Well, quite simply, the next score will take this. Just over 8 minutes left in this game. No mistake about that try. Lovely set up from the from the hooker Danny Houghton, who brings Fanua onto a short pass. He's looking at the player sweeping behind, and that close to the line, you're not going to stop the big fella. We're in for a fantastic 7 and a bit minutes now, Bill.
Onside.
Rovers taking their time with the restart. Cocaine eventually launches it deep into the corner. They need to hold their nerve now, do Hull Kingston Rovers. They seem so in control of this game at 20 points to 0. But from somewhere, Hull FC have found a way back into this game.
They seem to have run harder, they seem to have worked for each other. As I said, it's only been the last, 16, 17 minutes that they seem to have the attitude that they want to play, that they want to actually beat Hull KR.
Who says Albert Kelly can't defend? He was hurling in there.
Well, if you run straight at him, Albert Kelly can get underneath you and drop the biggest of players in Super League. Sometimes it's decision-making that gets him caught, that catches him out.
Houghton has been a key to this fight back. Ellis now. Oh, sidestep from Gareth Ellis. Gets the pass away. Oh, play on, says the referee.
The Hull FC players looked at that ball on the floor, waiting for the referee to blow a penalty.
And Cocaine picked it up.
Watch the offload. Danny Houghton. He is bumped off the floor. Danny Washbrook. He's pointing at the player that bumps him. Gareth Ellis rolling back the years.
It's crazy. It's madness here. It's Danny Washbrook.
But you get caught up in the atmosphere, don't you? The second tackle, looking for that offload. You think you've got an opportunity. You think you've split Hull up the middle, and that could have been the game breaker. That's right.
Hull have it back. 6 minutes to go. Just over. Oh, another borderline pass.
It looked it. Frank Pritchard was even surprised he had it in his hands.
Watts eventually brought to ground about 25 metres out. James Webster looking at the clock, wondering if his side can withstand the pressure that's coming their way at the moment. Here's Mahe Fonua. Fonua gets the pass away to Michaels. Michaels steps back in field and gets over the try line. And Steve Michaels brings the scores level. Unbelievable. Hull FC celebrate. We were talking about their first nilling since 1993, not so long ago. Now it's 20 points to piece. And Lee Radford remains ice calm. The supporters of Hull Kingston Rovers cannot believe it. Those of Hull FC are besides themselves with jubilation. Number 4 of the season for Steve Michaels.
Oh, well, what a 10 minutes we've had here. What a 10 minutes. Steve Michaels, the eventual recipient. There's the offload. The ball is golloped up by Hull FC. Danny Washbrook playing a standoff today after the injury to Carlos Trumavavi. And the big fella, Fonua, he gets the offload. That try still needs some finishing. And Steve Michaels had to show composure, had to be cool. Here's the offload. Right foot step, back inside. 20 points all. Holy moly. What a game.
This takes some finishing, doesn't it, Michaels? Ben Cockayne normally very strong in the tackles, but look what it means to those Hull FC fans. And Mark Sneyd, can he kick this conversion to take his side 2 points clear in what has been a brilliant final 20 minutes.
Well, Steve Michaels got 2 tries against Hull Kingston Rovers last season. I take my hat off to Lee Radford. Probably the calmest man. He looks the calmest man inside the KC Lightstream Stadium at the moment. He must be very, very disappointed with the way his side... 59 minutes, Hull Kingston Rovers didn't give Hull FC a sniff. And since then, the world has fallen in on Hull Kingston Rovers. And Mark Sneyd could add 2 points here to put FC ahead. Hull Kingston Rovers 20, Hull FC 22. Now, Lee Radford allows himself a glimmer of a smile.
Well, there's always things happening in these derbies, and it's been an absolute incredible final quarter for Lee Radford's men.
He's fuming, Lee Radford. He's probably wondering what happened in the first hour. He's probably thinking, why don't we play like that for the entire game and show the same urgency that we have in these last 10 minutes. I've said it many a times, he's the most passionate Hull FC man I think I've ever come across, Lee Radford. And it hurts him when his team's playing bad, it hurts him. And you can see it in his face, you can see it in his body language. His players now have got themselves back into this game. Less than 4 minutes. Wow.
The way this game has gone, Barry, there is still time. And this is a Hull derby. I mentioned 2012, the Etihad, 2013, the Etihad. There is still time for a kick to ricochet off the roof of the stand.
Absolutely.
Off the head of the referee and into the arms of a Hull Kingston Rovers player.
I don't think Hull KR deserved to lose this game. It's been a momentous comeback for the Black and Whites. He'll kick this off the island, I think, Mark Sneyd. Slow the pace of the game down. Take your time. He's asking, was there a deflection, Mark Sneyd? But just Albert Kelly. I think Albert Kelly,
we're just going to check whether
it touches his foot. I feel very confident of that, whether it's deliberate or accidental. He's made a huge difference to this game. Let's have a look. Does it touch him? Yep, it does. Is that classed as a charge down?
I don't think so.
He's moving towards it, but he turns his back.
James.
Well, referee Phil Bentham is actually going to consult, I think,
Is it his running stride?
James Child, possibly.
He's asking whether it's his running
Okay,
stride
ball,
or he
just a
goes
running
to
stride.
kick it. Yeah, I think probably the right decision. James Webster and Lee Radford, they've both got the same face. Neither one of them is prepared to count the chickens just yet.
Okay, out.
But Hull, Kingston Rovers, well, it almost got away from them against Salford last week. We mentioned that earlier on, how they almost let the lead slip. They've got a penalty. They've got a penalty.
Another 30 metres. They'll get over the halfway line or approach the halfway line. Could we see another dramatic try in this game?
I wouldn't bet against it. They've got the potential.
First, move.
Hull FC now,
Go.
holding their nerve. Kelly,
2,
just over the halfway
Move.
line.
hold, go.
Blair finds Kelly, they change direction. Cocaine. Ken Seo, who's looking to get that ball away.
Take it back.
I can't stop watching Albert Kelly. I'm just looking at the pitch, watching him. He's in absolutely everything he wants to set up. That's the field position. Is he going to come on this right side now?
Move. Go for
Graham
it.
Horn plays the ball.
4.
Blair for Cocaine. Ellis gets a hold of him.
5.
Coming up to 2 minutes to go here. Just 2 points the advantage for Hull FC. Blair kicks cross field. Everybody challenging for it. It's batted back, and it's a restart on the 20.
And Maurice Blair, he puts that kick high. And Albert Kelly, the number 7, he attempts to get involved. It's a little bit too far. The black and white players are out on their feet. Is that Kirk Yeatman who's down?
Facing. Head injury.
There's a collision in background. These players are absolutely exhausted. Yeah, Kirk Yeatman, I think he just collects Ken Seo. He's not watching the ball. Oh, sorry, he's not watching the player, he's watching the ball.
Clock stopped. And, well, we've already had Mark Minicello off the field. Hasn't returned.
This is where it went out.
Catches a knee right in the face.
There might be people thinking that Kirk Yeaman's
Playing for
just
time.
playing for
Yeah,
time.
that was my
It would be.
initial thought, but
Not after that.
no, you see that. The physio and doctor having a really good look at him, giving him all the time he needs. And the black and whites,
They cannot
those
believe it.
fans, it's been a great escape. They haven't played well.
Well,
Probably played well for about 12 minutes of this game.
59 minutes, they didn't get a sniff. And now, if they achieve this, it will be the greatest comeback in the history of the Hull Derby and Super League. They are that close.
It's the 10th one in the summer era. As we see Kirk Yeatman, he's just going to sit upright. That's a good sign. Look at the folded arms on the crowd there, every one of them.
There was so
And look
much
at the joy of the black and whites.
They were in
There's
so much
for you.
control. Hull Kingston Rovers.
Yeah.
Kirk Yeatman back on his feet. Lee Radford down on the sideline, knowing that his side are that close to
Come on, lads.
back-to-back wins.
Set.
And Kirk Yeatman, well, back in the side because of the injury problems. Been playing for Doncaster, who'd slipped out of favour. But in 16 Super League seasons, Kirk Yeatman has seen, he's familiar with this situation.
Been on this pitch many times. He's been involved with this particular four. He's been on the good side and the bad side. And it looks as though Hull FC are going to take the points. I know I'm going to jinx myself by saying that.
Well, Hull FC have just got to ride out the last minute and a half. Rovers should get another dig to try and still snatch this game, a game they thought they had won. Well, not won, but certainly their opponents well at bay,
Third.
but they've allowed them to get back into it.
Goal.
Not celebrating yet. Frank Pritchard.
4. Move.
He's suddenly found something, hasn't he, to help them get back into this game.
It's that momentum word. It's an invisible concept, momentum, and some people believe in it, some people don't. Gareth
Move
Ellis,
now. 5-5.
as the captain, has been on the other side of it and tried to change it and swing it in favour of his team. And it looks as though the Black and Whites are going to end this game with momentum in their favour. Lee Radford will be relieved, but certainly not satisfied.
Lee Radford, 37 tomorrow. It is going to be some birthday celebration with this, isn't
I'm
it?
not sure he'll celebrate. Look at his body language. He knows that it's not been good enough, and he'll expect more from his side. The fans will just be happy with the 2 points and the bragging rights.
And
They'll be happy to sing and celebrate.
Warrington to come for Lee Radford's side, Wigan to come for James Webster's side. And they've let this one go.
1. Move.
Into the last 30 seconds. They need some magic from somewhere. And this being the whole derby, that's not beyond the realms of possibility. Young George Lawler claps his hands. Adam Walker, Kelly fires it wide to Ken Seo trying to burst through, but Ellis and co shepherd him towards the sidelines.
He's been all over this pitch, Gareth Ellis.
Goal 3.
The clock counting down. They've got to come up with something now. Blair over the top and snaffled by Maher Fanoa and snaffled by Lee Radford's Hull FC side. Unbelievable. Down and out after an hour, down on their knees. They have left Hull Kingston Rovers absolutely gobsmacked. The greatest Hull derby comeback in the Super League era. And Gareth Ellis, an inspiration to this black and white side, who've won another Hull derby. They've been on the receiving end in this Easter fixture for the last 3. But Danny Houghton and Frank Pritchard salute their supporters, and their supporters who must have thought